Hello, good morning. This is the first Monday of our new year, 2011. Let me say that today's topic we're going to be talking about population of the world. You know that this year it's going to arrive at 7 billion people on planet Earth. You know, we only have 400 million here in the United States, and everyone has heard of the name Oprah. You know, Oprah is one of the 10% of women in the world that are childless. And I read her article this morning, and she said she never would have been able to have accomplished what she has accomplished without if she was a woman, her mother. She is a woman and a very capable woman, but there's a lot of responsibility when a woman takes responsibility for giving birth. And so many of the mothers on planet Earth have no idea what motherhood is. Jacqueline Kennedy, one of my most precious first ladies, Jack Kennedy's wife, she said that if you fail at parenting, you fail at life. And I agree with her. We have enough children in the world that are being victimized. Let's get on with what we can do to change that. But I want to take my hat off to Oprah for being the woman that she is. Now, most of us make New Year's resolutions. The New Year's resolution is a bad idea. 2/3 of people don't make resolutions at all. And 90% of those people that make New Year's resolutions, they don't carry it through. Now, it's better if you're going to make a resolution. Let's think of that just a minute. Say you want a resolution, say on health. Well, what would you do? Well, you take responsibility for your own health. And the first thing that I would advise people to do is look in a mirror. Look in a mirror. Look at the images looking back. And let's talk about truth here for just a minute. Now, obesity is the #1 killer in the world today. Obesity. Now, how can that be? Look in a mirror and look at the image looking back. If you're fat, let's call it what it is. You're fat. You're obese. What causes obesity? If you understand that obese people are usually victims of our society and our society's concept of greed. Let's look at soda pop, for example. You know that the average American consumes 53 gallons of soda pop on a yearly basis? And there's a big difference between fructose and glucose. There's a new study, and it was done at a university, and this study says that the sugar in soda pop is not sugar. 65% of it is fructose. Fructose is the same thing that they make corn syrup. And if you look at genetically modified corn going into making the glucose, brothers and sisters, we're in trouble because the liver cannot process, or it takes it, but it doesn't process it like sugar. Sugar just goes through our body and out the back end. But glucose doesn't do that. It is stored in our tissues, and the fat cell is created to remove the toxins away from our organs. So if you are obese, hereditary, I don't buy it. Lifestyle, I buy. If you eat a certain way and your mothers and your fathers and your grandmothers and your grandfathers are on the heavy side, I would say it's due more to lifestyle than it is to a heredity. But there's some of you that have problems, and my heart goes out to you because you're my brothers and you're my sisters. I'm in you and you're in me. And if one of us loses, we all lose. So look in the mirror, and if there's something you want to change about yourself, change is the easiest thing to do. Implicating it with action might be one of the most difficult things to do. But let's see how I would handle a problem in business. First, I'd identify if there's a problem. And if there is a problem, then I would not look and spend any time with the symptoms. I would go directly to the cause. People pay business efficiency experts hundreds of thousands of dollars a month just to turn around the problems in their business. Now, let's look at our life the same way. On an airline, you know, they say that if there's a problem, you need to put your oxygen mask on first before you do anything with your kids or anybody else, because you have to save yourself first. Now, there's only one reason that I believe we're here on life, and that is to enjoy all the pleasures that life has to offer. And if you're not getting pleasure, then you're doing one other thing, because the only reasons we do anything in life are to enjoy pleasure and to avoid pain. If that's simple, then what do we do about this? If you want to lose weight this year, you know, I turned 79 pounds of fat into 79 pounds of muscle in 30 days. Now, if I can do it and reverse my aging, because I'm 20 years younger now than what I was when I was 60, you can too. But you have to take action. Let's get back to something else. I've got my New Year resolution. It is health, my own personal health, wealth, my own personal wealth, and then wisdom. These are my New Year's resolutions for 2011. Health, because if you don't have health, you don't have wealth. And then wealth. I'm already wealthy. I'm wealthy beyond, I would say, the guy in the Bible, Solomon. He was the wealthiest person ever in the history of civilization. Without health, all his wealth never could have bought him health. So we got to look at what's valuable. Health is valuable. Now, wealth. The reason I've got wealth as my second New Year's resolution is because I'm used to making a lot of money. But money is not good unless you give it away. You have to give it away. So if you're giving all your money away, would it be better to give from abundance, or would it be better to give to empty? I think it's better to give from abundance. So you have to teach yourself that abundance surrounds us. We cannot count the grass in the fields of our world, or the fishes in the sea, or the sand that's on the beaches. Our Creator has a mind of abundance, and He's asked us to ask and then to receive. I think we're missing the message. How can you receive something if you don't know it's missing in your life? If you're broke, the first thing you need to do is look in the mirror and say to yourself, I'm rich. No, you don't need to say that. You know, that's a lie. Look in the mirror. Are you broke? Do you have too much month left over at the end of 30 days or 31 days to pay your bills? Are you unemployed? Has your house been repossessed? Do you know that the way the economy is going, we have possibly 6 to 36 months maximum. And if you don't take a positive step towards your own financial future, you're going to become part of the super poor, because the experiment in America about the middle class, it's going away. No other time in the history of civilization has the middle class expired to be what it is in America. Most people in America are 3 paychecks away from being broke. Maybe a month or 2 months away from not having a roof over their head. And you have to look at why. Most Americans are in debt. We have a credit card society. Why is that? Because we, as children, we wanted to have what our parents had, but we didn't want to wait for it. So I want to encourage each and every one of you. If you have financial problems, do the same way the airline instructs you. Put your own oxygen mask on first. Look in the mirror. If you're fat, tell yourself you're fat. If you're broke, tell yourself you're broke. If you're not happy, tell yourself you're not happy. And then do something about it. Make some goals, set some goals, but not through resolutions, New Year's resolutions. If you want to be in business, what would you do on a daily basis to gain your financial independence? I would suggest that instead of making a New Year's resolution that fails, why don't you make resolutions on a daily and a weekly basis? Daily and weekly basis. Look at your problems in your life. Recognize them. And whether you're fat or obese or broke or divorced or in a relationship that sucks, that's rotten, you know what? You can change it. Most people are in relationships for the wrong reason. I'm in a relationship with my husband because we have to raise our children. Well, I agree with you that children need two parents, a mother and a father. So if you want to change something, don't change that. Change yourself. Start treating that men, wake up. Start treating that wife of yours like a rose, a special, because she is special. If she's the mother of your children, then you need to do everything you can do to build her up. Make her everything in your mind, and she will become everything that she's meant to be. And the children will benefit. Now, we talked about the population of the world. 7 billion people. That's a lot of people. Well, we're only 400 million people in America. And do you know that maybe it's not 400 million, I think it's 4 million. That's what it is, maybe 4 million. It's 4 million or 400 million. I get the millions confused with the billions. But do you know that 260% of the people in America are hooked on drugs? And it's another thing. If you open up your medicine chest and you have to get through the day by taking drugs, legal or illegal, you're hooked. Because the biggest addiction, according to what I feel, in life is the addiction of cooked food. Does that mean you have to become a raw foodist or a living foodist? No, but you should have some survival food, because here in the near future you might need to have that survival food. Gas is projected to be over $5 a gallon by fall. Gasoline. Wow, we've got to do something. You know, we're creatures of habit. You've all heard this. We're creatures of habit. You know, the easiest thing to change is a habit. Because if you do something for 30 days, actually it's 28 to 30 days, you'll change a habit, whether it's a good habit or a bad habit. I would encourage you, men, when you get up in the morning, you look that beautiful wife, that woman that shares your bed with you, and you look her in the eyes and you tell her, "You're the best woman that I've ever met in my life." You tell her that, because she can be exactly that. Because if you don't tell her that, somebody else might end up telling her that, and you're going to lose a companion, a soulmate that you could have had. I've heard women say, "I'm looking for a soulmate." Do you know what? If you're looking for a soulmate, ladies, love yourself first. Do no harm. And don't let anybody else do harm to you. If a man raises his hand in violence to you, I encourage you to kick him to the curb. You don't need that. You need to understand who you are. If it wasn't for women, our civilization as we know it would be non-existent. You're one of the most precious things on planet Earth. My most precious asset is my mind. My most second precious asset are other people's minds. And you know what? I would love to have a woman that has a mind, because when a woman has a mind and she contributes her asset to a man's mind, they are successful in life, whether they have any money or not. Because the most precious asset, I believe, is a relationship. And I've heard my mother say, because she had 5 daughters, she said, "Daughters, it's easier to fall in love with a rich man than a poor man." And I believe that that's absolutely true. And the greatest richness, the richest thing in a person's life is high self-esteem. And if a man loves himself, that is a great catch, because he cannot love another, and neither can a woman, until they love themselves. How can we love our Creator and how can we love our neighbors as ourselves if we don't truly love ourselves? So if you look in a mirror and you say, "I'm fat," I was 60 years old, and I was fat, and I never looked in a mirror, and I never admitted to it. I thought that big beard belly was just because I enjoyed my beer. No, it was because I was fat. And the symptoms of disease, from diabetes to being impotent, these were symptoms of a bad lifestyle. When I took personal responsibility for my own lifestyle, my life changed. And I encourage each and every one of you to do the same thing. Changing habits is not hard, but you have to have the desire and the passion and the enthusiasm. When you bring that to goals, then your goals become alive and you will change. I'm doing a 90-day blitz right now, starting today. This is the first Monday of the year, and in 90 days, I'm going to be making $20,000 a month. At least this is my intention. I'm going to be making $20,000 a month in a new direct marketing company. And this direct marketing company is the easiest direct marketing company that anybody can do. And if you're interested, it's very easy. Free food, free shopping. Jordan, what is the name of that?
Free shopping for food.
freeshoppingforfood.com. There it is. I don't even know what the name is. freeshoppingforfood.com. Wouldn't it be wonderful to get free food and free gasoline? Take two of the commodities in our life that we spend a lot of money on and get them for free. This is anybody and everybody can do that. Now, anybody that wants to be successful in any business, find somebody that's successful in that business and use them as a role model. And I'm going to tell you what, our journey through this life depends on how many times around the sun we travel. I don't care if you're 5 times around the sun, or 50 times around the sun, or 100 times around the sun. You're going to end up going to the grave with your music still in you unless you recognize who you are. We are the creators, co-creators in this planet, and we are the creators of our own destiny. If you want to change your future, change yourself. Love yourself. How easy is that? How complicated is that? If you're drinking soda pop, you don't love yourself. If you're taking legal drugs or illegal drugs, you don't love yourself. You're being brainwashed by the pharmaceutical industry, and realize and remember that corn creates the corn syrup. There's a DVD that you should watch, and it is called King, that's K-I-N-G, Corn. Watch King Corn. If you think you're eating a beefsteak with that porterhouse steak, you better watch that DVD and realize what you're consuming. You're consuming liquid sugar. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, liquid sugar. And it's not liquid sugar like they want you to believe. It is fructose. Fructose in 1970 is when they changed the fructose from glucose, and they start taking sugar out and putting fructose, and they want you to believe that fructose is the same as sugar. It's not, ladies and gentlemen. It is something that creates obesity in the world, and we're doing it, and we're teaching our children to do it, and we're sucking down that liquid sugar, but it's not sugar, it's fructose. And fructose is damaging and harmful to your anatomy. I drink no soda. I bribed my grandchildren $100 each if they could get off soda pop and stay off of it for 1 year. My grandchildren, to my knowledge, don't drink soda pop. If they do it, they don't share it with me. And you know what? If they don't do it and I don't do it, somebody's drinking 100 gallons of soda pop a year, because the 53 gallons is an average. And many of my friends don't drink soda pop. So many of you out there are drinking over 100 gallons of soda pop a year. Not only are you getting fructose, but you're getting a genetically altered corn syrup from Monsanto that has intention of destroying our heirloom seeds, heirloom organic seeds that will propagate themselves after their own kind. And while we're talking about propagation, do you know that every 20 minutes We're losing a species or plant on planet Earth every 20 minutes. That's insanity. And the one last thing that I would really want to bring up is I would invite you to become a health guardian with me and become a spokesperson so we can protect the silent majority, the children of the world that are being imprisoned, not behind bars, but in their own minds and bodies. Diabetes used to be an adult onset diabetes, and adults only got it. Today, 33 1/3% of our children are being born with adult onset diabetes. That's criminal. Look about the soda pop that their parents are taking, and they're ingesting this while the mother's pregnant, and the children are being born because they're being born not able to cope genetically because of the DNA damage that the mother and the father have ingested in that offspring. Autism used to be 1 in 10,000. It is 1 in 67 today, and is projected by the year 2012 that 50% of our children are going to be autistic. This is criminal, friends. This is criminal. And only the baby boomers that have changed and influenced everything from the hula hoop to Gerbers to the food, the shoes, to the housing industry, to the business industry. We can change this. I ask you, I plead with you, please look in the mirror. If you see a problem, please, let's change the problem by changing the habit, and realize that any symptom of disease, from the common cold to cancer, is just a symptom of a malfunctioning immune system. I haven't had the sniffles in the last 12 years. And cancer can be cured. Dr. T. Colin Campbell, who is a very dear friend of mine, I respect him probably as much as I do Brian Clement, who is the director of Hippocrates, because Dr. T. Colin Campbell participated in the largest food study in the history of civilization. And he's the one that brought me back to believing in a creator. When I read his book, and on front page USA World Today, he was quoted, "There's a cure for cancer." Did you hear that? There's a cure for cancer. Now the Cancer Society has to disband, because in their bylaws, when they acknowledge there's a cure for cancer, no longer can they have a cancer society. You need to realize and identify that there's over 300 known cures for cancer. But the only one that works, it is your immune system. And that's what was quoted in USA World Today, T. Colin Campbell. And he wrote a fabulous book. It's called The China Study. And there's a president, Bill Clinton, who Dr. George Malcolmus sent Hillary Clinton a letter about 7 years ago and encouraged them to educate themselves in their healthcare program to stop the insanity. And you know, last month on CNN,